Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Let's Stay Together by Al Green. This song is part of my ongoing series where I'm listening to songs that come from albums that are on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. The way the series works is I'll do reaction videos for two, maybe three songs from each album, and then eventually I'll go and listen to the rest of the album just on my own, and I'll come back and let you know what I thought. This song comes off of Al Green's Greatest Hits, which is number 456 on Rolling Stone magazine's list. Last time I kind of read this little blurb here about the album. Again, I'm still just very much opposed to putting Greatest Hits albums on top albums list. I feel like studio albums should stand on their own, but I digress. The first song I heard from this album, I believe, was Tired of Being Alone, which I enjoyed. I don't think I had ever really heard anything from Al Green. But today, again, we're doing Let's Stay Together, which I'm seeing here. I can kind of just see it known as the biggest hit from legendary singer Al Green. Considering it's probably his biggest hit, there's a chance I've heard it before, but just the title alone doesn't really ring a bell with me, so I guess we'll find out. With that said, let's jump right in. Again, this is Al Green. Let's Stay Together. Here we go. That instrumentation was immediately recognizable, so I've definitely heard this one before, but we're already locked in. Let's do it.
I'm so in love with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you. Sing, oh baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. Never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together. Loving you weather times are good and bad, happy or sad. Just came to see you'd never do that to me, would you, baby? Being around you is all I see, is what I want to do. We ought to stay together. Loving you weather times are good and bad, happy or sad. Come on, let's stay together. Loving you weather.
Yeah, it's amazing what just a powerful melody or even just a couple of notes can do. Just immediately I was like, okay, I've heard this, right? But I will say, I don't think I've ever actually sat down and listen to this song in its totality. Like, I feel like I've probably heard it just in passing, on the radio, or just like at the grocery store or something, and it pops up or something. I don't think I've ever actually sat down and listened to the full song until just now, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it, and it's a shame that I haven't really listened to it in its totality until just now, because it was a great song. So I mean, again, just the moment it started, with those horns and the drumming and everything, it's just like, I was like, yeah. And then when he said, "I'm so in love with you," I was like, I've heard this, right? And it speaks to, I guess, an artist like Al Green, who is able to create a song, to create a melody that is just instantly recognizable, to where even if you're like me and you live under a rock and you haven't explored some of the most popular artists and albums of all time, it's like, oh, even I still recognize that. So there's definitely something to be said about that. And just how influential his music has been. So, anyway, I do want to read the rest of this about section. It does say, as I mentioned, known as the biggest hit from legendary singer Al Green, "Let's Stay Together" is an irresistible romantic soul track that's perfect for serenading that special someone, for sure. The song has appeared on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. I can see why. Where it was named the 60th greatest song after being given a first draft of the tune by producer Willie Mitchell. Green wrote the lyrics in the span of only 15 minutes. Wow. As a result of this haste, Green initially did not want to record the song and only did it after heavy persuasion from the producer. 2 weeks after its release, "Let's Stay Together" reached #1 on the R&B charts, the only song from Al Green to ever do so. But despite the sensuality present in the track, Green originally sang the song to an audience full of neighborhood drunks gathered together by Willie Mitchell. Looking back, Mitchell reminisces fondly, "We brought about 50 people in here, all the winos. They're drinking wine, laying on the floor while we cut the record." "Let's Stay Together" has become not only the stepping stone that brought Al Green his decades-long fame, but a staple for classic 70s soul music and an inspiration for future artists in the genre as well. So yeah, cool. And it's funny. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, that like so much of our music, yes, is planned out, and the writing process and everything takes time. But then there are other parts of our music that is just like, I made it up on the spot, or I just needed something, so I threw something together, or hey, it was just a jam session, it turned out well, stuff like that. And I think that's just so funny that some of the greatest songs of all time were put together in 15 minutes, or at least the lyrics were written in 15 minutes. I think that's just hilarious. So anyway, let's look at those lyrics real quick. It says, "Let's stay together. I am so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me, because you make me feel so brand new, and I want to spend my life with you. Let me say that since we've been together. Oh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together. Loving you, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Oh yeah, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Why people break up, turn around and make up, I just can't see. You'd never do that to me, would you, baby?" So very clearly, like, it's a love song. It's about being in love with somebody, and just being dedicated, and even to the point where it's like, some people break up and then they get back together. They flip flop, but we would never do that, right? Because we're just totally in love. Just being around you is all I see. That's what I want to do. We ought to stay together, loving you, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Come on, let's stay together. I'll keep on loving you, whether times are good or times are bad. So straight up, like, I ain't here to break up and get back together, none of that. I'm loving you no matter what, whether times are good or bad. We're doing this thing, right? So yeah, pretty simple, lyrically. Obviously, like a track that was probably written in 15 minutes would be, but it's sweet. It's a great song. So I'm gonna give it a thumb up for the lyricism. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, man, he's got a great voice. As I'm sitting here and listening to this song again, like for the first time, really listening to it, he's got a fantastic voice. And the moment he even comes in with just like, "I'm so in love with you," it's just like, oh man, like what woman wouldn't just melt, if that was sang to them, right? So just beautiful delivery in the vocals. The instrumentation was great. Again, those horns, the drumming, everything kind of comes in, and it's like, yeah, that's instantly recognizable, and it gets stuck in your head. It's catchy, and like, I'm gonna be just kind of replaying it in my head all day, because it grabs you. It really does. And so with that said, I think for instrumentation and vocals, I'm going to give it 2 big thumbs up. I thought it was very well produced, very well performed and just a fantastic sounding song. As far as replay value goes, it's a little bit different than what I normally listen to. I don't listen to a whole lot of R&B or soul music. But I will make an exception for this one because it just sounds so good. And I need a little bit of this tenderness in my life sometimes. So I think it makes the playlist. Do I listen to it all the time? No, because it's a little bit different than what I normally listen to. But does it still get some play, time in? Absolutely. So I'm going to give it a thumb up for replay value. Overall, a fantastic song. And another great entry in this series. And with that, we've listened to 2 songs off this album. So for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, which looks like it's Bo Diddley. Go Bo Diddley. So, all right, let's do that next time. If you're enjoying the series and if you're enjoying the music, definitely go support the artists wherever you can. Go listen to their music. I was told that Al Green is still with us, so I'm sure he would still appreciate that support. And then if you liked what you saw here, consider supporting the channel as well. Just do all the normal things you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment with your requests, because I'm always, always, always taking those. You can even check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.